Thanks to low gas prices, low unemployment numbers, and thousands of new residents, traffic around Portland is as bad as it's ever been. We saw the worst of it this winter when only a few inches of snow literally shut down highways for hours.
It can take you an hour just to go a mile or so, but these days we're seeing long backups even without bad weather. Trevor Alt joins us now with a look at some of the busiest roads in our area, and I guess more importantly, Trevor, what's being done to improve our commutes?
Well, good afternoon, Jeff and Jennifer. If you're noticing a lot more vehicles out on the road, that's because they are staggering numbers. Take a look. This is the busiest stretch in Oregon, I-84. This is seeing 177,000 vehicles a day at Northeast 33rd. Now, on top of that, the American Transportation Research Institute says that the I-5 bottlenecks, which we're very familiar with at I-84 and at the Interstate Bridge, these are two of the worst in the entire country. And the problem's not just in Portland proper. On Highway 26 at Cornelius Pass, traffic is close to double what it was 20 years ago. So I wanted to know three things. What road projects are already in the works? How much can feasibly be done about traffic? And knowing that, what are legislators planning to do? Well, here's what I found out. This stretch of Highway 26 at Cornelius Pass will hopefully see some relief soon, with the widening project getting underway this month. ODOT spokesperson Don Hamilton tells me it's one of about 24 projects the department is taking on this year alone.
There's going to be a significant number of projects in the area. The big one is going to be paving of I-205 from the Abernathy Bridge to I-5 and the expansion of the Sunset Highway.
Once they're completed, each of the projects should help clear a little space. But experts I spoke with said it's not likely the roads will be clearing up.
If you want to have a robust, thriving economy, there will be traffic.
Dr. Ian Carlton has a PhD in city and regional planning, and he told me to reduce traffic permanently in this economy, you'd have to raise the cost of driving. For example, charging for every parking space. Dr. Carlton says widening the highways is a temporary fix, but it won't last.
The minute that you free up some space on the interstate, there will be someone sitting at home who says, there was that trip I wanted to take, but I didn't, because the roads were full. And now they'll take that trip.
Your drive into downtown Portland this morning may not be what you expected.
Given the limited resources, I'd say they've been doing the best they can.
Dr. Jennifer Dill also has a PhD in city and regional planning. She told me Oregon can only do so much with our roads because projects to improve or expand them are expensive, and Oregonians typically aren't willing to chip in much money to pay for them.
And compared to other states, we are one of the least willing places to pay for improving our transportation system.
State Senator Rod Monroe knows that as well as anyone.
Anytime you put a tax measure on the ballot, it almost always fails.
But as a member of every major transportation committee in Oregon, he says Portland traffic is at a crisis level that's affecting the entire state, and it has to be fixed.
It'll require a lot of new taxes and fees to fix the transportation problems in this state. We really need to raise about $1 billion to do that.
If it's passed, 70% of that $1 billion would go to roads, highways, and bridges, and the remaining 30% toward public transit. Now, that $700,000 for raising those prices, that would mainly go towards maintenance, some expansion projects, but you heard, that's not really a long-term solution. So even to raise this money, what they're going to have to do, knowing Oregon already has its $1.8 billion deficit, they're going to have to pass it on their own because we know that things won't pass. And to do that, it means bipartisan support, and it needs all the union support too, AAA, Truck Drivers Union, Agriculture too, because if any one of them says no, they can put it on the ballot and voters will turn it down.
Yeah. It will fail.
Yes, that's it. He did not mince words. And Senator Monroe said this was so important, he's willing to take it on his own, raise taxes, and if voters vote him out for it, then he's comfortable with it because he says we need it that badly.
Yeah. Everyone can name a spot that's worse. I think Highway 217 is the same as it's always been when they first built it. Why didn't they widen that like 15 years ago in anticipation of it? And you hear, where's the money? We don't support things like that. So, yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trevor.